Hey everyone, welcome back to the Dark Trilogy, Episode 7. Picking up right where we left off last episode. Just been waiting around, pretty much just letting the mana pool fill up from the mana generated from the Day Blooms and the Endo Flame. So I went ahead and made my way back to base real quick and picked up some more coal. Now, obviously we can use charcoal as well, but for now, I'm actually happy with just using the coal. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the chest here for now. At the end of last episode, we also made ourselves a runic altar, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and start using that right now. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and place this. Let's place it on top of this. I know it's gonna look a little weird, but I think it'll work. Now, eventually I am going to go ahead and change all of this around. This is just kind of temporary, and I thought it was a nice area to go ahead and get started with Botania. Now, let's see. Let's go ahead and grab the mana spreader, the extra one we had from last episode, and let's go ahead and put this down right here for now. And we're going to try to hook that up to the runic altar. Now, for that, we're going to go ahead and use our Wand of the Forest. Now, if you notice, the mana spreader is shooting into this dirt block. It's actually not using any mana just yet, because it's not actually connected to the runic altar. Now, if I'm not mistaken, if you shift right click with your Wand of the Forest, as long as it's in your hand, it should change it to bind mode, which you should be able to, right click on the spreader? Or is it shift right click on the spreader? Oh, shift right click, there we go. So now it has it selected. You guys can see, obviously, it's highlighted no matter where I put my mouse cursor now. And we should be able to just right click on the runic altar, or is it shift right click? Shift right click, all right, so shift right click on both of them. And now you can see it's actually pointing to the runic altar. So now it's ready to go, cool. Plus it adds that little extra leaf, which actually indicates that it's in bind mode, so that's really awesome, I like that. Actually, it also makes the leaves on the Wand of the Forest look a little bit bigger as well. That's pretty neat. Awesome. All right, well, I think it's time to go ahead and get started using our runic altar. Let's go ahead and take a look into possibly some functional flora. Now, there's actually one that I've pretty much been looking through. Some of them I have not really seen before, really messed with, but one of them I do want to try and make is the Clayconia. It's a simple flower in essence. All it does is moisten nearby sand, turning it into clay. This process uses a decent amount of mana, but nothing too insane. So that actually sounds pretty good. I actually am planning on using some clay in the near future, and I really don't like going around and collecting it. And actually the area that's all around us, well, it doesn't really, I'm sure there's some clay, but it'd be a little bit of a pain to get to. Yeah, it's a little bit deeper waters and stuff. I don't really have too many rivers or anything. Let me take a look on the journey map one more time. I mean, I have some small pools of water around, and might be able to find some clay in this area over here on the left side of the journey map, but I'm gonna go ahead and go with this option just because I've never done it before, and it sounds like it might be pretty cool to try. So let's go ahead and take a look at what this actually requires. We're gonna need a cyan petal, a gray mana petal, 2 light gray mana petals, a light gray petal, and a gray petal, along with a rune of the earth, which is actually what we're gonna need to craft in the runic altar. So luckily, this gives us 3. We're going to need a block of coal, stone, either mushroom, either it's gray or the red mushroom, and then 3 mana steel ingots. All right, let's go ahead and get started and see if we can do this. So I already kind of brought a few materials down here from the base. I'm going to go ahead and grab 1 block of coal. I'm going to grab 1 mushroom, which I found some mushrooms down mining in my caves down there. And we got a piece of stone right there. Mushroom, stone, block of coal. We're also going to need our 3 mana ingots. So we should hopefully have enough mana to do everything I want to. So just drop your iron on top, and you get yourself your mana steel ingots. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and right click these onto the runic altar here. You can see it actually floats on there, indicating that it's actually on the runic altar. So we'll put those 3 on there. Actually, it looks really cool. I like the way this actually shows up on here. We'll also put the stone, 1 mushroom. Oops. It plopped down the stone instead. So I believe to get that off, if you want to take off the last item, I believe it's shift right click and it'll pull the last item that was put on there off, I believe. So let's go ahead and put the mushroom there. There we go. Block of coal. Then lastly, we should just have to right-click this with our Wand of the Forest. Now, you guys are going to note that there's a little indication next to my cursor, and this is shooting out quite a bit of mana. Well, actually, not really quite a bit. The mana pool's not really going down that much, which is kind of nice. And there's a little progress bar, it looks like, right next to my cursor, showing that it is making us runes of earth. It's a little over halfway done, so that's not too bad. Now, I do need to get a piece of stone ready. No, is it? I think it's the living rock. Yeah, there we go. Let's grab that. And you'll have to throw this on top of the runic altar in order to get your runes. So it looks like it's completed. Progress completed on the progress bar there next to the cursor. And the lightning is also a little indicator, I believe. So let's go ahead and try to toss that on top. Right-click it with your wand. And there we go. We have ourselves 3 runes of earth. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. What else do we need? I believe we needed some light gray. I think we needed the regular gray. And what else did we need? So let's go back. 2 gray. So we needed the 3 light gray and a cyan. All right. So luckily we have a cyan right there. And this will make us 3 light gray petals. 2 of the gray. Which I believe we needed 2 light gray mana petals. Yep, that's it. All right. Let's go ahead and do 1 of those and 2 of these. Let's grab us some seeds. I'm going to go and use the cotton seeds there. So we should just be able to put all of these into our petal apothecary and our rune of earth seeds. And there we go. We have ourselves the Clayconia, which is pretty neat looking. All right, so from what this says, what a killer joke. Rupees not included. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. It says it just uses a little bit of mana from a nearby mana source. So that's basically the gist of it. So I'm going to go ahead and place this probably right here. But first, let's go ahead and head back to base real quick. And let's grab some sand. Oops, sun's heading down. All right, there's also actually something else I would like to do at base while I'm here. If you guys notice, I have 44 levels of experience. I kind of been meaning to try to get that off of my player for a little bit. That way it's maybe in a little bit safer spot. So let's go ahead and craft something real quick to take care of that. I'm going to grab some iron and some glass. We're going to need about 6 pieces of that. If you guys noticed last episode, we also got, or well, I had before last episode, some obsidian. So let's go ahead and make some glass panes. Place it in a cross like that. Surround it in the corners with some obsidian. That'll give us some tanks from open block. These will pretty much allow us to store liquids in, and they're pretty much like a multi-block, so it's pretty cool. All right, let's also make ourselves a grate, which I believe we already got the iron for. Just need some iron bars. Fill those up in a crafting table like so, and that'll give us an XP drain also from open blocks. And before I forget, let's go ahead and grab 30 pieces of sand will do. I did collect a few more resources since last episode. We got some more wood. I also picked up a little bit more sand. You guys will notice out front also, I made a small little sugarcane farm to start getting some of those, planted and everything, get a small farm going. So pretty much all we really have to do is find us a nice little spot for this, and I really do not know where I want to put this just yet. All right, let me go and sleep through the night real quick. I'm kind of thinking about placing this in the floor somewhere. Maybe just off over here. Well, over here in the corner, it's going to be off the edge over there. Maybe right here. This might be all right. So actually, hold on. Let me pick that up. Let's do this. I'm going to have to reform underneath the base a little bit. Maybe let's break that block. Let's do this because I do kind of want to have an access to one of these sides. So I'm just going to put the grate right there, and now all you have to do is stand on top of it, and it should start draining the XP from your player into the tanks. Hopefully I have enough room in there. I may not. May need to make a few more of these. Alright, yep, looks like we're about to fill this thing up. Okay, so those 2 blocks filled up rather quickly. Let's see, we got 20 pieces of obsidian. I don't really mind us making a few more tanks. Really? You're gonna make that noise in my house? That's great. Alright, I'm gonna just go ahead and take care of this wall real quick. I'll probably move this somewhere else later on, but for now... Oh, you don't want to go up any. I see. Alright. So apparently that liquid doesn't want to go up. Alright. Well then, time to go down. Alright, let's just do this and that. That'll work. And continuing to drain experience. So I'm going to go ahead and let this finish draining off my player, and I'll meet you guys back over there in just a second. Also, guys, before I head back over to the Botania area, I want to point out the open blocks tanks. If you right-click on a open side here with your bare hand, it'll actually pull 1 experience out for every right-click that you make on the tank. So as long as you have experience inside of your tank, you should be able to pull out as many levels as you want for each right click. And then you can just put it back whenever. So just wanted to point that out as well. So I'm going to see you guys back in just a sec. And back at the Botania area. That was quick enough. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw the Clayconia close enough to the mana pool to where hopefully it will grab some mana. So I think we'll just maybe do it right here. Will that work? So a good way to see if it'll hook up is to just hover over it, and it looks like it is hooked up to the mana pool, so that's nice. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can place a piece of sand next to it, and it turns it right into a ball of clay rather quickly. Nice. Oh, this is easy. Now all I need is a way to automatically place sand next to this, and then a way to actually pick up the clay balls. Well, this is helpful. Now, definitely going to need a lot more clay than this, so I am going to have to work on a way to get some sand production going, or something of that sort. Don't really have a lot of areas with sand around. We do have a few beaches and stuff like that around here, like over in this area. Obviously, right around here, collected some not long ago. But really not too much other places to get any sand at the moment. Haven't really found a desert yet either, so might have to resort to just trying to make some sand. Maybe through a little bit of tech. But we'll work on that a little bit later. So I'm going to go ahead and grab another block of coal. I'm going to throw this on the endo flame just so that some more mana starts getting generated. Now there's another item that I wouldn't mind making in Botania that'll hopefully allow me to get around a little bit better. Let's see, let's take a look in Baubles and accessories. One of the ones that I would like to use is this, the sash, the Sojourner's sash. It allows us to practically traverse, by stepping up blocks, so that way we don't have to jump every time. Should allow us to move around a lot faster, and I believe it also allows us to jump 2 blocks instead of just 1, so let's see, and a resistance to fall damage. That works well too. If not sneaking, it also allows the wearer to walk over 1 block high gaps without jumping with ease. Cool. Nice little tidbit of information. So we already got 1 rune of earth. We also need a rune of air. So we're going to need 3 mana steel ingots. We're going to need carpet, feather, and string. All right, so what do you know? Actually have all of that ready to go. Let's see, let's grab our iron ingots. Let's go ahead and craft ourselves 3 more mana steel. Place those on our runic altar, along with the carpet, the feather, and the string. Right-click that with our wand of the forest. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves. Oop, we already got some. Living rock. I'm gonna go ahead and toss that on, just to go ahead and get it ready to go. Good. We're doing pretty good on mana. I'm actually kind of happy with this. It's not doing too bad. Alright, so we're just going to kind of wait for that. Let's, in the meantime, go ahead and prepare this crafting recipe. So we actually need 1 more mana steel. Actually, whoops. Whoops. And then I'm also going to need some leather. So let's go ahead and grab our leather out of here. We need 4 pieces of that. I'm going to run back to base, grab an iron ingot real quick, and be right back. Just a quick stop back at base. I wanted to wait for my macerator to finish crushing up the iron that I had in there. But to help solve our sand problem, if we take some cobblestone, throw it in our macerator, this should go ahead and produce us 1 piece of sand per cobblestone. Another way of doing that is through the sandstone. So if we put a piece of sandstone in there, it should also produce us 1 piece of sand. If I go ahead and push R while hovering over sand, it should show us this right here. There we go, in the macerator. So cobblestone to sand and sandstone to sand as well. So we can also use other machines for this process too, which is pretty cool. Looks like the pulverizer is a little bit more efficient with the sandstone, and also gives us a chance to get niter, so it gives us 2 sand and niter that way. But for now, I'll go ahead and let that run and do its thing. Looks like the sun is also setting. I went ahead and picked up some iron. I'm going to sleep through the night, and I'll see you guys back at the Botania area in just a moment. And I'm back. Looks like our runic altar is ready for our runes. We got ourselves 3 air runes, so there we go. That'll work for now. And we should grab ourselves another Mana Steel ingot, and we should be able to go ahead and craft ourselves our Sojourner's Sash. So that's going to be rune. All right, there we go. Let's see. Mana Steel, Rune of Air, Rune of Earth, and then we're going to need our leather, just like that. And there we go. Sojourner's Sash. Now to equip this, there's a little icon right here next to your player avatar here. Just click on Baubles, and you guys are going to see a few more equipment slots. We have 2 ring slots, we're going to have a necklace slot, and a belt slot. So we'll just go ahead and take that and place that right there in the belt slot right there. And it'll actually show up on your character and have a little sound when you equip it. So now, as you guys can see, this is just walking, and this is running. So we definitely move a lot faster now. We also have a nice higher jump and step hill assist. So we can actually step up blocks without having to jump. So this is a lot nicer to get around. And I believe, how much fall damage resistance do we have? Let's jump off from up here and see. Well, I don't know. It looked like we took a little bit less damage in that way. So, all right. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and pick up my inventory, kind of sort some of this out real quick, and then we'll be right back. Alright guys, and we're back. So I'm just doing a little bit of looking around in the Botania for maybe some other stuff I wouldn't mind making real quick. I actually want to go ahead and make a ring of magnetism. Basically acts as a magnet and allows items that fall out in the world to be pulled to me from a fair distance away. So just like it implies, it just acts as a magnet. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we need to craft this. Looks like we're going to need some more mana steel, and we're also going to need to make a mana lens. Okay, so to make that, we're going to need a regular mana lens, which is more mana steel surrounded by a glass pane. So I headed back to base, grabbed a little bit of glass. So let's grab ourselves a glass pane, and we should already have some iron sitting out here, and I believe we're going to need about 8 pieces of that. So instead of just dropping all 8 in there, I'm going to make an iron block, and this will give us actually, I believe, an extra piece of mana steel, and we should be able to just drop the entire block in there to get ourselves a block of mana steel, which we can convert back into mana steel. Just kind of makes life a little bit easier this way. So all right, there we go. Let's go ahead and make our lens. Wait, what was that? Oh, mana steel shears. Oh, cool. Forgot about those. All right, so there we go, mana lens, and if I use that with a gold ingot and an iron ingot, that should give us a mana lens of magnetizing. Alright, so that combined with 4 mana steel ingots will give us the ring of magnetization. Or magnetism. Wait, no, magnetization. That's right. Confused myself there. Alright, and that just goes in one of the ring slots here. I'm going to go ahead and put it right there. So now, anytime any item falls in the world, so I'm just going to kind of right-click on this. Oops. Well, let's toss it down. There it goes, right into my inventory. Now, it will negate the effect if you shift. So if I hold shift like I am now, the item will not be sucked into my player. But if I let go, boop, right there into the inventory. So that works really nicely. I really, really like having some form of magnetization. It's very helpful, especially when you're working on high places or hint, hint, in the nether over lava. That's very, very helpful. So that's another nice little tool to have as well. So doing some more looking around, there's a lot of really cool like baubles and accessories that you can get here. Let's see, the spectator. That looks pretty cool, but requires an Eye of Ender and an emerald. I do have an emerald, but I don't have that. Now, a lot of these do a lot of different various things, and they're pretty cool. But let's see, maybe a band of aura or a band of mana. I wouldn't mind putting another one on. Now, I wouldn't mind getting this at some point, the Tainted Blood Pendant. I've not seen this. This looks kind of new. I have read on it a little bit, and it looks pretty neat. But for now, I think I'm good. Let's see, maybe, what's this take? A Rune of Mana and the Band of Aura. Now, I believe this actually will slowly generate mana if we have a place to store it, but I really don't have the items for that at the moment, so gonna have to just deal with this. Now, if I just, oh, this is an easy way to get clay with sand. That works out well. I like that. Nice and quick, too. And it doesn't really look like it uses too much mana, which is really nice. Let's see, do I have any more coal out here? No. I'm actually curious, can we make this into a block of living wood? Well, I mean, like a bigger block. I know that sounded weird because it's already a block, but I was just curious. All right, so let's go ahead and put this away. I really wouldn't mind doing a little bit of work in the nether. I really need to head off to the nether, make a quick trip in there, start grabbing some resources. As you guys can see, we got a little bit more mobility, but there's a few things I wouldn't mind to increase our mobility a little bit further. Now, I do want to make a place to set this up. I'm also going to need a piece of flint and an iron ingot, so that way we can craft a flint and steel. Let's see, is there any gravel? Oh, right there. In fact, I wouldn't mind putting this down here too. Let's actually make our way down here a little bit. I know it's a little far away from our actual base, which is not a bad thing. Nether portals tend to make quite a bit of noise, and I really don't like that too much. Oh, we already got two. So I'm going to go ahead and place this over here. And that should be good. Ooh, amethyst. And we'll go ahead and pick that up while I'm here. Let me actually go ahead and fill this in as well. Oops. Let's see. Let's just use the gravel. That'll work. And there we go. That'll work. I see the coal in there as well. All right, we should have more than enough. Actually, I keep forgetting. This is 1.7.10. I think this is the version we should be able to make any size portal we want. But I'm just going to go with the old classic regular portal that uses, what is this, 10 pieces. So there we go. Let's see what kind of nether generation we actually get with this. All right, see you guys in a second. That's loud. All right, guys, we're in the nether. And it doesn't look too bad. It's a nice little spawn. We got ourselves a nether fortress right in front of us. That's really nice. Ooh, mushroom. That'll work. Nope, can't pick up the ardite. Alright, well, looks like we'll have to do a little bit of Tinker's Construct at some point in the near future. Wouldn't mind getting some ardite and cobalt. But this is our nether quartz. I'm going to go ahead and harvest some of this. I definitely wouldn't mind to have that laying around. Let's see, where else? I want some glowstone. I'm also going to try to pick up some soul sand while I'm here. So just trying to grab a handful of materials. Yeah, definitely wouldn't mind picking up some netherrack as well. Ooh, another mushroom. Can definitely use that in Botania. Ooh, there's a pigman. We should be alright. Hopefully there's no mod in here that actually has them attack us. See, there's some cobalt up there. I see some glowstone. Is there any more any low-lying glowstone around? That would be very, very helpful. Anywhere. Hello? All right, well, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and just do a little bit of gathering here in the nether. And if anything interesting happens, I will go ahead and pop that in there. I'm just gonna leave this recording and just do a little bit of gathering real quick, trying to find some glowstone laying around somewhere. And in the meantime, also picking up some nether quartz and more soul sand and netherrack. So I'll see you guys back when I'm done. All right, found some glowstone, cool. Now I can finally make my way back to the overworld, so I'll see you guys back there once I get done collecting this, and maybe a little bit more netherrack and quartz, maybe some soul sand too. Be back in just a sec. Also guys, I want to do a little bit of exploring here in the nether fortress that wasn't too far away, because of also I wanted some of the nether wart down there, but we also can find ourselves a chance of getting some diamonds, and I picked up some ethereal essence from Krapht. I'm guessing maybe a dead wisp somewhere. Alright, these guests get on my nerves. Oh man, they're loud and obnoxious. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and harvest some of this. Here, there we go. Let's grab here wither skeletons around. And it looks like I'm almost out of power in my drill, so definitely need to find something to hopefully get us some power for this at some point. Alright, I'm just kind of doing a little bit of poking around real quick. I want to see if there's any... Ooh, there's more glowstone. There's an aura node right there too, I saw. A little bit of glowstone here real quick. Nice, it's actually very accessible as well. I like this. No danger in getting this. Alright, I'm just going to pick this up real quick, and then I'm going to continue looking for maybe a few more chests, because those diamonds are going to be very helpful at this point. And a little bit more exploration. Found a blaze spawner right here. Whoa, watch out there, buddy. See how well my chainsaw actually works pretty well on that. Wow, 2 shots them nice and easily. Alright, that's kind of cool. Oh, and a blaze rod. Perfect. Into fire. Cool. Alright, I'm just going to throw a few things into the bag here. Sounds like there's actually a few of them in there. Come on, hit me. Try to hit me. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, that almost did hit me. Alright, come on. Did I get another one? Another 2. Perfect. Alright. I am going to leave that area. I got me 2 blaze rods and I am happy. Looks like there's actually another spawner down there, which I will leave be for the time being. A little bit more exploration, and there's probably some more chests around here somewhere. Let me just see if I can't find my way back to where those other chests were, which I believe was down this way. And then through here. Man, those ghasts are so annoying. Alright, so this is where we got our nether wart from. Oop, there's more nether wart. Perfect. Oop, there's a chest down there. Let's go check it out. See what we can find. Hopefully some goodies. Golden horse armor, which I don't even know if we can melt down. We might be able to melt that down. I'm not sure if there's a mod for that or not. But we got more nether wart. Let's take a look down here. Is there anything? Hello? Chest? Anywhere? It's a nice way to get some diamonds without having to go down and do all that mining for them. Wouldn't mind finding a few more. Looks like it definitely come in handy. Yeah, no, I'm missing. Okay, I'm just gonna back up from that a little bit. Take a look down here. Oh, I see. Kirby hat and wither skeleton, which looks like we got just a few bones from. Nothing special. And another chest. Alright, any luck? Just a little bit of gold. And a flint steel, which I will actually leave, and I really don't care to have that gold sword. Alright guys, I'm going to make my way back to the overworld. I think I did a little bit of enough exploration here. Did I already get that chest? I think I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, we did. Alright, so I'm going to try and make my way back over there. Uh-oh. And I'm going to jump it. Leap of faith! And I'm going to see you back. Okay, okay. Wisps. Exploded creepers. Okay. Those are nitro creepers, which explode generally as soon as they get close to you. Okay, that works. Alright, I'm going right now before bad things happen. I'll see you guys back in the overworld at base. Alright guys, back at base, inventory nice and clean. Went ahead and got my diamond drill fully charged up, ready to go. I also went ahead and made an iron chest, so that way I could go ahead and place all the stuff that we got from the nether into this chest, and easily accessible, know where it's at, you can go right to it. Plus, our other storage is getting a little full, so probably need to look into storage somewhat soon. But for now, what I wanted to do, and the reason why I went to the nether, is because I want to go ahead and further expand our mobility by making a jetpack. And I want to try and make one from industrial craft. So what I needed was the glowstone for that and the advanced circuit. So let's go ahead and see if we can craft this up real quick. I'm going to go ahead and craft a few of the basic materials for this real fast, and then I'll craft this on camera. So I'm going to make like RE batteries, copper cables, tin cables, and all that stuff real quick. Also guys, I was getting a little bit low on rubber, so I went ahead and came outside and planted a couple of these IC2 rubber trees, and I'm going to go ahead and use my stone sickle to clear out the leaves a little bit so we can actually see if there's any spots here that we can extract any resin from, which we have a couple spots. This looks like a decent tree, so I'm probably going to keep this one. This one does not look like it has anything special, so I'm going to go ahead and just chop this one down. And there's none on this side, so I'm going to go ahead and plant a tree here real quick. And make another look at it. Probably should have planted that a spot away, just because I can't look at that other side. Let's actually plant it right here. There we go. That's probably a better idea. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this, get some more rubber, and get that running through the extractor, which doesn't look like I'm having too much luck here. Oh, there's one. There's a resin spot. That'll work. All right, back to a little bit of crafting real quick. All right, guys, just finishing up a little bit of crafting here. I should have everything I need now to go ahead and craft the electric jetpack. There we go, the advanced circuit right there. Also went ahead and crafted the bat box already, which is the 3 RE batteries, insulated tin cable, and 5 pieces of wood. Pretty simple there. Place bat box, advanced circuit. Also got the 4 iron item casings, 2 glowstone, and we have ourselves an electric jetpack ready to go. Also got the rubber ready to go there in the extractor, and I have been using the metal former a little bit more. So let's see, let me go ahead and put the tin plates back in rolling mode. I'll go ahead and put that back in there and let that start working that. Let's go ahead and let this charge up real quick here in our CESU, and I think it's time to go ahead and retire our armor a little bit for now. I do plan on doing more with that later, but for now, we're going to go ahead and make ourselves an armor stand from BiblioCraft, which 3 stone slabs, 2 iron ingots. I'm just going to pretty much use this for now, just as decoration. I'll put that right there. So if I right click on that, I should go ahead and be able to place this in its inventory, which is on the left side. This is your player inventory right here, so you can transfer armor back and forth if you wish. And we just need the helmet. And I think that looks pretty cool so far. I'm actually quite happy with that. We're just going to use that as decoration. And we have another set that we can put up as well if we so desire. So that'll work for now. And there we go. Our electric jetpack. I can also equip that right there. And for now, I should be able to do... Let's see, what was the rubber... Can't remember the recipe. So we got the rubber boots. Requires 6 pieces and a piece of wool. It's been a little while. We should have enough rubber there. There we go. And this will just kind of help out fall damage a little bit, just in case we fall a little too quickly. So there we go. That'll work for now. And let's check it out. Oh, nice. Now we got ourselves a little bit of flight. So now we should be able to get around a little bit easier. And we got the Soldier's Sash, which we made, which we can, jump higher. We can also step assist, move faster, and now we have ourselves an electric jetpack. So now we can actually fly around and do a little bit more exploring. So now, as long as we got power in this, we should be able to do a lot of exploration. I believe there's also, if you push him, let's see, let me check in the controls real quick. I cannot remember IC2's mode switch keys. M, X, boost. I wonder if there's a hover mode. not remember if the electric... Pretty sure the electric jetpack did have one. X... No, I don't think it was that. And my control, it could be also the controls, but I think it had something to do with... Oh, there it is. You have to be in the air. Nice. Now this will use, I think a little bit more maybe than those bursts that we were doing, but this allows us to hover, which will be very helpful for building. Shift to slowly descend, spacebar to ascend a little bit more. So this will be helpful, and I believe you just push M to disable again. There we go. That'll work. All right, guys, I think we're over on the time for today, but I want to say thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any helpful tips, tricks, or comments, feel free to put them in the comment section down below. If you guys would rate the video, I'd really appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see you guys then. Goodbye.